Welcome back to the news at 10. The Registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board has been reacting to the recent step taken by the Senate to amend the JAMB Act and validate the use of JAMB results for a period of 3 years. Professor Ishaq Oluede says that the system will not work in Nigeria because Nigeria's education sector does not run a stable curriculum. He was answering questions from journalists at the University of Ilorin.
It's going to hurt the students more than it could help. And at the end of the day, it's going also to create some infrastructural problems. For instance, Senate probably has not taken into consideration that JAMB sets achievement tests. If, for instance, you give examination this year, and by law you say it should be valid for 3 years, and next year there is a change of curricula in the universities, are you going to admit students with a qualification, with a test that has no relationship? I think when there are problems, I believe there are problems, but we should not rush to a greater problem in solving a smaller problem. With due respect to the Senate, I believe that a second thought is necessary, and that's why we appeal to the House of Representatives not to agree.
The situation in the northeast, well, the federal government is addressing the urgent issue of malnutrition in that area as part of efforts to end the humanitarian crisis. The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, made this known while addressing journalists in Abuja. He reiterated the President's commitment to improve the lives of all internally displaced persons as soon as possible.
We are providing drugs and other commodities from the ministry worth 1.2 billion naira to Borno State. I also made mention of the Presidential Task Force that is addressing the urgent issues relating to malnutrition, health, environment and water. That task force is chaired by the Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning, and each component of the initiative is headed by a minister. The health and nutrition component has a budget of 4.3 billion naira, which has been approved. So in other words, within the health sector, we are committing about 5.5 billion naira to Borno and the neighboring states in the northeast with respect to the urgency. But then within the bigger context of the Presidential Committee on the Northeast, the federal government is also committing huge resources to rebuilding the Northeast, and this committee will be flagged up next week by Mr. President.
Now let's take a look at some business news for the day. Here's Anne Wawudu.
You first. First Bank.
Thank you, Ijoma, and welcome to the world of business. One of the reasons for the low optimization of the Cabotage Act is the unavailability of steel and aluminium in the country. This is coming from the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Mr. Dakuku Peterside. He made the statement at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce Public-Private Dialogue on Port Efficiency and Maritime Sector Roadmap.
Let's get maximum benefit. Let's optimize the benefit inherent and embedded in the Cabotage Act. And I've talked passionately that one area of the Cabotage Act where there seems to be a lacuna or underperformance is in shipbuilding. And I've also said in shipbuilding we have a challenge with the steel industry and the aluminium industry, but we're addressing it by some of the things we're doing under the Ministry of Mines and Steel. A lot is going on there. That sector is undergoing transformation, and the transformation that sector will undergo will impact significantly on our shipbuilding initiatives. Korea and China are great shipbuilding nations, not for any reason. Two major factors. One is the presence of steel and aluminum in their listing. The other one is human resource. Human resource we have human capabilities, we have technology. All we need is this important component of raw material of steel and aluminum to grow our shipbuilding capacity.
An economic policy analyst, Mr. Opeyemi Agbaje, is advocating the promotion of corporate governance and public and private sectors to drive economic growth. Mr. Agbaje, who was speaking on Channel's Business Morning, also believes there is need for a performance review of both fiscal and monetary policies.
I do hold the opinion that corporate governance in the private sector, proper governance, and lack of corruption in the context of government can be sources of competitive or comparative advantage for for businesses and for Nigeria. If you're running an entity, you must always review where you are. You must review how you've done. You must ask yourself, examine your performance, and you must make adjustments where necessary. If we put that in the context of Nigeria today, I would strongly support some review of the cabinet. I would think that there may be areas of suboptimalities, and it's not just the cabinet. So I would look at fiscal policy, which is cabinet and all of that, but I will also look at monetary policy. Is the credibility of Nigeria's monetary policy appropriate for the times? So that's the role of a leader. That's the role of a system to review itself, ask yourself, are we doing the best we can? Are there areas of suboptimalities? Is there something I can do to improve performance? I think yes, in the context of today in Nigeria, particularly at the federal level, yes, a credible case for such review may exist.
Profit-taking dominated most of the trading sessions of the domestic bourse this week, driven by investor sentiment and the release of some third quarter 2016 corporate earnings. Let's now join BC Adebayo for the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Reports. Transactions on the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended the week on a negative note with a 0.01% drop in the all-share index, while the market capitalization dropped by an insignificant margin, but still around 9.47 trillion naira. Investors' appetite for stocks was lower as the market recorded a weak turnover of 70.9 million shares, worth 656 million naira, all traded in 1,973 deals. Financial giants FBN Holdings, GT Bank and Access Bank were the most actively traded stocks for the day. In price performance, Wema Bank, Nigeria Police Microfinance Bank and Seplet led 10 other stocks on the gainers category, while PZ, Cadbury and Sterling also led 10 other decliners. And that ends the Stock Market Reports. I am BC Adebayo.
Thanks a lot, BC. And it's a mixed closing for some of the world's leading stock markets today, following a mixture of comments from the European Central Bank chief on monetary policy, natural disasters in Japan and Hong Kong, and the impact of strong dollar currency. Let's check out the numbers. And that's business news on the last trading day of the week. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Back to you, Joma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. Now, Stanbic IBTC is offering a wide range of funding opportunities to prospective agri entrepreneurs across the country. The Financial Services Group made this offer known at its third Leadership Forum here in Lagos. During the session, finance experts gave insight into the innovations in the world of agriculture.
Each year, Stanbic IBTC's Leadership Series comes with focus on trending issues. And this time, the group has shifted attention to agribusiness to support government's call for economic diversification.
The real challenge for us is actually unlocking the opportunities in agriculture, the execution of it, making everything that we all talk about a reality.
I'm happy for things like this that is happening in Nigeria. We now can go out there with what we have learned, mentor these our youth, and make them change the way they think, the way they see agriculture.
Experts from different subsectors of agriculture dwell on reasons for private and public entities to key into the growing agric value chain.
They had a tremendous amount of land, they had a tremendous amount of access to water, they had access to labor, and they had very large internal markets that enabled them to build up the economies of scale internally to dominate global export.
We take waste, thrown away organic material, and we grow the tiny little eggs. So 1 kilo of eggs turns into roughly 10 tons of protein. So agri-protein, I think, will fundamentally change the protein and the food cycle in the developing and developed world.
With such convergence between agriculture and environment, Stanbic IBTC says its arms are wide open for funding.
We provide financing for machinery. We also provide financial advisory services, really to enable the agricultural value chain.
With John Deere bringing many of the solutions and services and technology, and then working with Stanbic IBTC on the finance and Tata to deliver that complete John Deere experience, that's why we're having some success here, and that's why we're very optimistic about the future.
The buzzword derived from this meeting is Agripreneur. So whether economic policies change or not, the objective of these experts is to feed the nation.
Ecobank Nigeria Limited says it's leveraging on technology to enhance its mobile banking services with the launch of a new application. The new Ecobank mobile app enables customers to experience a variety of banking solutions on their mobile and other devices.
That's the new look of Ecobank mobile application. The Ecobank mobile app now empowers customers with a wide range of solutions for their mobile and digital devices that are fast, safe, and easy to use.
What we are achieving through the launch of the Ecobank mobile app is to bring onto one single platform all the applications that are needed by any customer when it comes to making payments, paying bills, and more importantly, opening accounts. For the first time, we are making it so easy for anyone to open an account just at the tip of his finger.
This is very unique. The Express account, you're able to open your account on the mobile phone, either using the mobile app, the Ecobank mobile app, or dialing *326#, and you will get an opportunity to open an account within 2 to 3 minutes.
It is also built with features to secure financial transactions.
We are building here a platform that actually relies on the unique identification that each of us has when he has a mobile number and a SIM card. So the SIM card becomes a key element that allows anyone who has a phone to do all the transactions that you would typically do in a branch.
The way we are doing this is now we are creating a coalition and an ecosystem that enable payments to happen across all the countries in our continent. This is the first time we are saying that no matter who you are, having an account, a bank account, is a right for an African person.
In the overall, Ecobank mobile app ensures that the concept of cashless economy is brought to reality in the hands of anyone that has a mobile phone.
Next on the news at 10, Brazilian striker Neymar signs a new 5-year contract at Barcelona with a $270 million release clause. That'll be on sports. Just stay with us.